You're live. You might be live. I don't know. It says you're live. You forgot to take the paper out of the hat. Picture of Hemingway. Fish. And some glare. Okay, so once again we have a true unboxing with a brand I had bought a couple years ago or whenever it was, and at the time the trench boot, the guideline said to go down from your brand size, and I found that ordering true, they still ran small. So I said, if I ever buy from this guys again, I will, well, this company, I will go up half a size or whatever. So when this sale presented itself, that's what I did. So we have a shipping invoice and a return and exchange page. So we'll see how they look and how they fit. Handle with care. While sizing, please be sure to keep the shoes or boots in as new condition. Taking care not to scuff or heavily crease the leather or scratch the soles on rough surfaces. We recommend evaluating fit on a rug or carpet while standing, but without bending the toe. Keep in mind our sizing recommendations are based on how shoes and boots will fit once broken in. Again, I don't think a shoe is ever going to stretch that far most of the time. Most leather will stretch with wear, so the fit should be snug but not uncomfortably snug when new, or you should be able to get your foot in it. Also note that natural undyed leather will darken, and patina, which is not the correct word, but the word everybody uses, patina with wear and exposure to sun. Seek our help. If you're unsure about fitting or have other concerns, contact us. Well, like I said, I contacted them when I returned the other pair, so I was pretty confident in this size, even though we're nowhere near the size part. Include this invoice, exchange. Customers responsible for the cost of shipping the exchange pair back, yada, yada, yada. Hopefully I don't have to exchange these. I didn't buy them just to send them back like the last pair. But the last pair was a kind of redundant shoe from what I already had a bunch of other service style boots already anyway. So the lid came off. So there's the size. Nothing else on the box. And this is the pair I'm going to compare them to slightly and see who wins when I can get to that. So, okay, so we have this card. Care instructions, bottle of Venetian shoe cream, horsehair shoe brush, cotton cloths, 2 cotton cloths. Please, these products are available from your local quality cobbler or us.com. 1, clean the shoes or boots with a damp cotton cloth if possible. Use distilled water to ensure that no impurities make their way onto the leather, because your tap water sucks. Yeah. Apply a small amount of Venetian cream, using your brush, clean all that off. Wherein. Okay, so we're looking at Wherein since 1905, finest quality leathers. Your shoes or boots have been handcrafted with the utmost care using renowned Wherein leather. Wherein leather undergoes 89 separate processes, having 28 days of utilizing all 5 floors of the facility in Chicago. Over the past 100 years, very little has changed in the formula. I can hardly read this. Food grade beef tallow, cosmetic grade beeswax, marine oil, chrome salts, tree bark extracts and naturally occurring pigments are combined. The mixture is then applied using heat, steam pressure, the hands of craftsmen, and time. This ultimately yields the soft, supple, and durable leather that is used for your shoes or boots. And so we have some boot bag, one, and we have some paper, okay, in between the layers. So the outsole is a different outsole than the other company, and the other boot's in a bag. Okay. So the one boot came in a bag, the other boot didn't. There's no Venetian creams or horsehair brushes in here or anything. I didn't order any of those things extra, so I guess I didn't get them. So they look very similar. To, again, the LL Bean slightly smaller booty Chukka boot more version with the different outsole. These fitting me a little sloppy. I haven't cut the insole and or neoprene inserts or whatever and tried that in here yet. So I had been wearing these on and off through the summer to get a feel for them, and they never quite fit perfectly, but they're close. And LL Bean runs true to size, so these are a slightly smaller size than these. So yeah, this is a style of, like I said, I didn't necessarily like the shorter height of them, although Iron Snail was hyping it, and I thought, well, in summer it'll be nicer to have the shorter. It's not that much shorter, as you can see. They're pretty similar, a couple inches, but this will definitely give a little more ankle support. This outsole, on the other hand, not the one I would pick for outdoors use necessarily. But this one, of course, having next to zero traction. This one looks like it has traction, but it's really a masonry sole more than a hiking sole, so I'm not sure how long. I mean, breaking them in, I'll be wearing them on the street. Yeah, they look. Yeah. Here we go, taking off. They look about the right size. When I hold them up too. I mean, the bean ones are kind of smallish and kind of. And it looks pretty close. So yeah, I'm not too worried. Again, another boot that does not have a hiking outsole on it at all, but we'll see. So I'm just going to go ahead and try this one on, and even though I don't have carpet, I do have this paper in the boot bag. So that should be more than enough protection for the Vibram outsole for the thing before I get into specs and such. Yeah, that should be fine. That should fit fine. I might have to put an insert in them eventually too. See how it goes. But the whole idea of where this should be and where that should be, and toe, they're a little bit long. So I suppose lengthwise I could have gone with the size, half size down, but widthwise, even with the stretching, no, I think they would have been too tight in some spots and still sloppy in others. So overall, it is what it is. I'm just going to put this one back on so I don't feel funny sitting here. But I'm not going to lace it up the whole way. To save time, okay. Little Mr. Rogers action there for your morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh, and I keep forgetting to do my my gimmick here with the boots in the rotation. Here's the new boot in the rotation. Did it rotate? This. Being silly. Okay. So what are we looking at? No speed hooks, 6 eyelets, the little back moccasin deal, the pull tab, which you don't really need on a boot this short, but they've become standard. It looks like a roll top, but it doesn't have any padding on the inside collar. The tongue is only gusseted to the second eye hole, and it's a flimsy kind of suede deal going on here. So not a heavy duty tongue, but these are also meant to be, you know, kind of a warm weatherish / game hunty boot, game wing shooting. They're definitely creased. Somebody else tried these on before I got them. So if they want me to not crease them, they could send me a pair that aren't creased, right? Because yeah, I didn't do that in the last 10 seconds. Yeah, pull up leather with the hole. Other people always remember to do this in the videos, and I always forget. But it doesn't really matter that much because I have so much glare that you can't hardly see it anyway from the light. Yeah, the stitching, you know, like I said, it's a little bit pointy here, so my toe is like more to there, although I didn't really stand up fully and walk in them, so how goofy that will feel, I don't know. I'm more worried about the outsole than a little extra toe room, but with this narrow mock style instead of the ones I put back on, prematurely as it seems, you know, a work boot mock toe, you're typically having a lot more toe room. And so as you can see, they're about the same. So I would definitely say these run a little small from Brannock. Not a ton. I mean, like the toes are almost in exactly the same place. So again, why it seems like I have extra toe room is probably just because I didn't stand all the way up in them and put both of them on. So I would caution about going down a size or even buying true to size. I suppose everybody's different because I watch videos from other guys and they keep saying how the Thursday boots run huge on them and the Grant Stone boots run huge on them, and all those brands I have to go up or I have to go wide. So sticking with the left boot, you can look down in and see there's a kind of a contoured insole with the little bit of the holes there and a little bit of the arch support implied, and that doesn't seem to be removable. That seems glued down. He says O Street Bootmakers, just says that, and then you have a little bit of the unfinished interior, no lining, standard. But it's a chrome tan, not a. I can't think of the name right now. Brain farting. As opposed to the other leather that the less shiny, blah blah blah, the matte finishes and all that, and the rough outs and the waxed flesh. It's not the waxed flesh. It's not any of that. I know there's a couple that I'm brain farting, and they sent the leather laces that look way too long. Typically, you stretch these a bit and then trim them. I might have some other ones floating around, or I might switch it out with a regular shoelace and put this in something else. Just because this boot isn't 8 or 10 inches high, I might want to save this lace and use it in a taller boot. Is it a true mock construction? Yeah, I'm not positive. I would say it's possibly a 2-piece, but I'm not sure. And I have no way to cut it in half and double check, but it does have the same exact front as some of the other ones I've encountered. that's basically the same kind of toe, same kind of thing. This one having none of the second Goodyear welt kind of thing going on there. So that's one thing that, again, I'm not sure how you resole this, how the cobbler goes about. If he just tries to match that stitch, or if he adds a welt, which I imagine you could add a midsole to this and then it might be more comfortable. I don't think this counts as a midsole, but maybe it is. And we have the, like I said, more or less same stitching pattern, though. I guess I got to go backwards. It doesn't matter. Just a little bit of contrast stitching, a little bit more robust. This one, everything's just a little bit smaller. I don't know why. But the toe box is much wider, as you can see. But the leather's a tiny bit thinner with the bean. Oh, for those of you who don't know, this is the LL Bean Ranger mock, not the Camp mock. The Camp mock's a different one. This is the Ranger mock. And I don't know if it's still available, but you might be able to find them on eBay and all that kind of thing. And I think it came with this lace, but you can see it's a much shorter lace for a much shorter boot height. And I mean, I already did a video on these and mentioned them a few times. And they've gotten, like I said, mostly street wear on asphalt. So not a huge amount of hiking or anything done in these, because I would want a more secure fit. This would be, if you're staying in a cabin and running back and forth to the pond, this is kind of the shoe. If you're going backpacking, this is definitely not the shoe. And again, I prefer a bit more ankle. Ultimately, I would really have liked it if this was even taller, but this was the sale price model. And I just said, okay, that looks like one that I'd like to try out, because again, similar to this in theory and everything. So the right ones, look at the right one. Oh, almost 20 minutes already, and I haven't even accomplished anything. Okay. But that's how it goes with new boots. So we have, again, the Vibram, the outsole that most closely resembles the Thorogood outsoles, but Thorogood does their own. A little bit of scratchy. Even this one might have been the one that wasn't in the bag. But again, Chrome XL, it will show blemishes and stuff more than some of the other leathers. I don't have them in here, but like the Thursday Rough and Rugged or Resilient or whatever it's called, like you kind of can rub that and the marks will not completely vanish, but minimize. Whereas this, that's just not going to happen. It's a shiny top coat kind of finish feeling, and once it's damaged mostly. But and this had some color name, probably the natural or something. Doesn't say on here. Yes, it does. Leather Natural Chrome XL. Natural Chrome XL. So Natural Camp Boot. That's the official name of this. Again, if you're staying in a cabin and running back and forth to the pond. This, again, if it changed the outsole, though, it's more closely meant to resemble a pheasant or grouse or whatever kind of game boot. And then, of course, some of the companies make them with the canvas panels now, which don't interest me at all, which is why I bought this one. Because I could not afford what Goki or Easy Mock or Russell. Well, Russell might come in my size. Most of these other brands, Rancourt. Yeah, Rancourt had a nice one that was too big. Goki had an interesting one that was too big with the camouflage and all that. Yucatan, Rangeley. Who made Rangeley? I think Rancourt made the Rangeley. Anyway, that was all in the Rose Anvil video that you probably already watched. the three of you who might watch this, well, I get more boot video people than not other kind of videos, so we'll see how it goes. So then we just have, just the thing attached there. Again, the tongue. Not anything elaborate like some of the logger boots and things where you have to really kind of try and figure out how to navigate breaking in your gussets and such. But so yeah, basically kind of a simple mock boot. I mean, it's got some extra stitching here and there that aren't all technically fail points, right? Most of them are function stitches rather than and we got a little bit of quality control thing going on here. It's a little bit wonky, a little wobbly, but nothing that should affect. I mean, it's kind of unsightly where you can see the glue marks or whatever is going on there, but it's not going to affect the fit or the wear terribly. And for the sale price, yeah, the other side's kind of the same. They think we don't notice these things, but we do as soon as we look at them for more than a couple minutes. Like I didn't really scrutinize the left one as much, and the left one looks a little less wobbly, maybe a little more on the instep, but nothing, nothing terrible. Like I said, that's going to really affect the performance or anything. For me, like I said, it was more about getting the right fit and not having a boot that's just too small and smashing my feet. And they didn't offer a wide width, so I felt like I said pretty confident, pretty safe in going up half a size. And like I said, yeah, a little bit extra toe room maybe, but not, like I showed you, not a super huge toe box or anything. Oh, the focus came back, yeah. So that's about it. I talked a little bit longer than probably necessary for a boot I haven't worn. I think unboxing videos are a little bit silly, but people seem to like them. So and it'll be a while before I log enough significant hours in these to really show any, significant change. But again, I don't mind this for now, but before next year, if I was going to use this for actual hiking purposes, I'd probably swap this outsole for something a little more. I don't have anything in here that's comparable, but a little more like a combat boot, commando sole or whatever. Maybe a mini lug just for looks, but I've heard mostly negative reviews about the mini lugs so far, but not a lot of. Most people seem to like them in theory or in concept, but the actual how long they last and how well they feel comfort wise and all that, it seems to be not a lot of data yet, but the boot guys really are into boots hate them. So, but they also hate wedge soles, so they only like commando soles. So maybe they're just biased, we don't know yet. Well, I wouldn't say they only like commando soles, but they seem to prefer Dr. soles, which are not a hiking outsole at all, but they're an alternate street sole to the day-night casual sole, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you have any questions, of course, always put them in the comments, and I'll try and get back to you. And it's only Tuesday, so, most of you won't watch this until Thursday or Friday or Saturday or something, if anybody finds it at all, because I've been kind of slamming out videos this week. But my next pair comes in maybe Thursday, and I don't know if I'll do an unbox of those because they're a rebuild of the boots that I got back in July or whatever already. So if you want to watch that unboxing, it is episode number, where's my playlist? Oh, by the way, these, that was episode 228 with the wrong picture in the thumbnail. I never changed the thumbnail. The other iron snail video. Oh, then I did the other LL Bean moccasins that was not these was number 257. That was more recently. That was just last month. Then I did that Iron Snail Coffee with Carl collaboration. Episode 251, semi-related to this, not totally related to this. And that other picture in the unboxing of the Knicks was the Iron Snail picture, just to try and fool people or have a laugh, and nobody cared. But 113 people watched that one, or, well, a couple of those views were probably me. But before that was the actual Camp Mock video is somewhere else. Here it is. 1 year ago, episode 125, LL Bean Ranger moccasins. And then I had done some other LL Bean videos. This one actually got 200 views-ish, whereas the other one I know didn't do hardly anything. So some of you have already seen this boot in a couple videos, including that one. And if you go way back, then the Wolverine, chapter 71 and chapter 73 and chapter whatever. Oh yeah, hiking boots, chapter 60, Thoroughgood boots, chapter 61, and some other chapters, and hiking boots number 1, chapter 59. So that's not the only hiking boot one, but that's, I think, the LL Bean hiking one. Anywho, okay, so that added like 3 extra minutes to 10 extra minutes or whatever. But so yeah, I thought these were a pretty good deal, and if I didn't like them, I was just going to exchange them for those other trench boots. But again, I still don't need those trench boots right now. Maybe next year, maybe they'll have a good sale on a color that I like or something. But in the meantime, I still have the Wolverines and the Thursdays and the other Thursdays and the Grant Stone and the other Grant Stone so. Unfortunately, low priority, but this, like I said, this nice that they offered something in my price range in my size. So they beat out, again, Gokis and Rangeleys and Easy Mocks and Raincourts and Russells. And I'll shut up now and get on with your day.